Hello, everyone. It's Melissa Faust from stampwithmelissa.com. Welcome to summer camp day 5. We're going to shed a few tears. It's the last night. If you're watching this video, if you're catching it live or on the replay, please leave a comment and say hello. Let me know that you are watching. But yeah, it is summer camp day 5. We have made it all the way to the end. I know it's a little bit sad and exciting all at the same time, right? Because it's exciting that we have another project, but it's sad because then it's over. But it's all good. And hopefully you've been able to get some really fun ideas. So hello, Lori, Deborah, Alicia, Dawn, welcome everyone. Okay, so it is Thursday, July 18th. Yes, I am still checking what date it is because they all run together at this point. It's Thursday, July 18th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Central Time. This is like really weird, you guys, because on Tuesday nights after my live videos, I rush off to my nephew's soccer. Well, tonight I'm going to rush off to T-ball. And so this is just really like a weird, I'm in some kind of alternate universe because it's video and summer camp and then sports, right? And so I'm like, tomorrow's Friday, but I don't know that it'll feel like Friday. Anyway, so we are on summer camp day 4. I have got a fun day 5. Let's try that again. Day 5. It's day 5. Hi, Joan. Hi, Mom. Let's try. Yeah, let's just get it together, Melissa. Anyway, at least I saved probably, I mean, all of the cards, all of the projects we've made this week are simple once you know how they are put together, right? Hi, Lynn. But I would say that tonight's card is maybe the simplest. And I saved it for the end because let's face it, we're all tired. So anyway, okay, so it's summer camp day 5. Let me talk to you real quick about summer camp because it ends, the ordering special ends tomorrow. So I want to just remind you of that. And then we're going to dive right in. So, and you guys, I put the card right on my desktop, so I'm not going to forget to show it to you right away this time. So I was like, you know what? It's got to go right there because otherwise I will forget yet again to share what we're making. So, okay, so summer camp. Let me switch up this banner at the bottom here. It started last Saturday. We've been live now Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and finally tonight, Thursday night, 5 nights in a row. And on Saturday through tomorrow, Friday, I have a fun ordering special for you to celebrate summer camp. So if you would like, well, first of all, if you haven't seen the other 4 videos, make sure you go back and check those out because they're really, really awesome. But tonight we are going to make the final card together. And this one is a card, so I don't have to correct myself. So we are going to make the final project together tonight. If you would like the measurements for tonight's card, they will go for free, totally free, to my email newsletter list tomorrow morning. So Friday, July 19th at 10 a.m. Central Time. So make sure you're on my email list. The link to join is in the description of this video. Okay. I am going to give you the basic measurements again tonight. Just like I have the previous 4 nights, the basic one. So if you want to just hear me say it, some of you are really good at that. You can hear me say it and then you just like know them and you're like, okay, here's my projects. I made them, right? So that's awesome. But some of you might need to see them written. So they'll go out on email tomorrow morning. And I put that gap in so that I know we have a lot of people who catch the replay. So hopefully you, if you're watching the replay and you're catching me for the first time, you can see that warning. That doesn't sound right, but the pre-notification, I don't know, you get what I'm saying, beforehand. So anyway, so if you are like, okay, that's all cool, Melissa, but I really want to make these projects at home and I want you to do the work for me, I am happy to do that. So through tomorrow, July 19th, end of the day, if you place a $75 order in my online store before tax and shipping, I will send you the project kits for all 5 of the projects that we have demonstrated this week. So the slider card, the envelope box, the slide up gift card holder, the treat box pocket card, and tonight's puzzle slider card. I am amazed that I remembered all that. So I will send you those 5 project kits. I will also send you the PDF for all 15 projects. So the 5 demonstrated projects and the 10 alternate projects, a full PDF, including pictures, measurements, supplies, I almost said dimensions. That's the same as measurements. The instructions, there's the fourth one. So all of that stuff included, okay? If your order goes over $100 before tax and shipping, I'm also going to throw in 10 handmade cards and envelopes. And if your order goes over $150 before tax and shipping, I'm going to throw in 50 handmade cards and envelopes along with that project kit and PDF, okay? All right, make sure you use this host code that you see right here on the screen. That ties it to the class. If your order does go over that $150 mark, take the host code out because you get Stampin' Rewards yourself, okay? And I want you to get those freebies. So let me go ahead. I'm going to take this banner away because, look, I'm on the ball a little bit better tonight. Maybe I shouldn't have said that before I got started because now something's going to go wrong because it has to. Anyway, this is slightly crooked, so don't get seasick, but I'm just going to adjust it a little. There we go. Anyway, so this is what we are doing tonight. We are going to make this really fun puzzle slider card. Now these look complicated, okay? So you can kind of flip it back to open it like this. They look complicated. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. It's really not, but it looks really cool. So this is a really great, I'm going to wow my friends kind of card, okay? And it opens kind of in a normal way or like a way that you can tell. So you can send it to your non-crafty friends and they won't break it trying to open it. All right, we are going to use the Changing Leaves bundle. I love this bundle so much. I am just a sucker for leaves that you can layer together because I really love fall. And yeah, this is just thumbs up. A+ in my book. So this is one of the sets that was released in the July 3rd online exclusives launch, and it has a really awesome die set. So I've got this one hiding in the back because it's too big to fit on my magnetic sheet. Actually, maybe it could. We could fit it on the magnetic sheet, but anyway, it hides these other pretty ones. So you can see this set has a couple of labels and then a couple of detailed dies. This guy, you notice, is all connected together, and you might be thinking, well, why is that? And you know what? If I had thought about it beforehand, I would have pulled this out beforehand, but we're going to just, don't mind me, just mind yourselves. Pretend like I'm not searching. Here it is. It also comes with this hybrid embossing folder. So you can see the pictures here of these 3 leaves in the center, which emboss, right? So you can use the embossing folder on its own. You can use the dies on its own, or you can double them up and you can die cut at the same time as you emboss, which is really, really cool. And by the way, if you're a Club Create member, you might really want this bundle. Just saying. Okay, so we are going to use this set tonight. Just like the previous nights, anything that had to be die cut, I did do ahead of time, just so you know. So I did already stamp these 2 leaves you can see on the front. I did already stamp and die cut those out just to save a little bit of time and space on my desk here because we got a lot to show you. So let me show you the pieces we need, and I am going to give you the measurements of the essential pieces, okay? So this is 4 1/4 by 9 1/2, scored at 1, 2, 7 1/2, and 8 1/2. Or if you want to make it a little easier, you could go 1, 2, turn it around, 1, 2, right? So just 1 inch and 2 inches from each end. Okay. So we've got that piece. I'm glad that you're happy. Yeah, we just have to, we just have to. So anyway, all right. Then I've got a piece of basic beige. This is just for layering on the inside. So it can be any size, a piece of basic white for the inside. These are a few more essential pieces that we have here. So same color as our card base, I have got 4 pieces of Blackberry Bliss. I don't think I mentioned this is Blackberry Bliss. I've got 4 pieces of cardstock in Blackberry Bliss. So these are 2 1/8. They're all going to be 2 1/8 tall. Let me see. Did I do that the right way? Yeah, like that. Okay. That way. There we go. It's a puzzle. You guys get it? Okay, so shift it around. You can kind of see where we're going here, right? So it's 2 1/8 because it's covering the whole card base. Our card base here is 4 1/4. So cut that in half, 2 1/8. Okay. And then this piece is 3 1/4. So is this one. And this one, I believe, but I'm going to measure it just so I don't make a fool of myself. This is 2 1/4. So we've got 2 1/8 all the way height wise. Then we've got 3 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, right? Okay, then I've got some layers here. Now this, I'm not going to give you measurements for these because you can do whatever you want here, but I just made some mats here that are going to go on our pieces because I love mats. I just do. I just really think they really just step your card up to the next level. And then I've got some designer series paper here. And I've got a tip for you. When I show you one of the alternates, I've got a tip for you on the designer series paper, but you can see this paper really can go any direction, but you can just see where that's going to layer there. Okay. And then I've got a piece of basic white and basic beige for the outside of our card here. I've got an early espresso die cut circle from the Spotlight on Nature dies. And I've got my, as previously promised, although I didn't color this one yet, my pre-stamped and die cut leaves. So this one is in Blackberry Bliss ink. This one is in Pecan Pie ink. We're going to color in that one because I like the look of it all colored in. So we're going to color that one in. And then I also die cut this label out of basic white. And this is from that Changing Leaves bundle. Okay. All right. So what do you say we get started? We're going to start with all these fun pieces, but let's just start with the Blackberry Bliss one. So I'm just going to scooch these off to the side here. Oh, come here. There we go. And then I'll scooch these off to the side. And are you ready to roll? Okay, so are you ready for the magic here? So our card base here, we're going to fold in. These are the inner score lines. Okay, so this is like the 2-inch score line. I'm going to fold in. And then on the other one, we're going to fold back. You guys, when you see how this goes together, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that is easy. All right, fold in and fold back. Okay. All right, now the next part is really up to you. You can have a lot of fun with this, but you can see I'm going to do big, little, little, big, right? But you could do it the other way as well. You could swap these and you could do little, big, big, little, however you want to do that. Okay, doesn't matter too much, but we're just going to keep it like our sample here. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take my seal, and on this score line, so you can see how that's kind of folded here, right? Because we've got in and then out. So right here on this panel, I'll hold it up. So right where my finger is, I am going to add a whole bunch of seal. Now I'm going to do it on the right-hand side because I'm a righty. So that's just how I roll. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it around because I just, you can't have things nicely ever. And I'm just going to take this Blackberry Bliss piece, and now this is the one that's 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to line it up. I'm lining it up with the top edge and the left-hand side, okay? But all of that seal is going to get covered when we add all of our pieces, okay? So I'm just going to tack that down. Now, if you want to use liquid glue, you could do that as well. And then I'm going to take that little piece and do the same thing here, lining it up on the left-hand edge and the bottom. Okay, and then we can just push down on those. Then I am going to add some seal. We're going to do the exact same thing, other side, right? So I'm going to add some seal here on this piece. Flip it around again because that's just how I roll. And now you're going to want to use, like here I use the short piece, right? So you want to make sure that you use the other piece so that they line up to create a whole card front. They're going to cover the whole front, okay? So I am going to take that big one again. And now when you flip it right around like I did, it's going to be the same piece. So we're going to do big on the top and then little on the bottom, okay? There's one, and then we've got this guy. Is he the right way? Yeah, he was. Okay. Just got to make sure, sometimes we all have to guess ourselves. Hi, Mimi and Lori. Welcome. Okay, so you can see that when it's closed, look at how cool that looks. So you've got that layout there that covers the whole card base. So let's go ahead and decorate, shall we? And then I'm going to show you some of the magic. So this DSP here that I'm using, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but this is the 2 Market DSP. And it's got this really nice Blackberry Bliss plaid piece that is really, really great for fall. This DSP pack is actually really great for fall because you've got a lot of these really nice, like rich colors. Okay, and you can see I'm just lining these up. So I'm just matting my DSP onto their basic white counterparts. And then I'm just adding those to those little Blackberry Bliss rectangles that we added. And you can see what I'm doing here, how they kind of coordinate and line up, right? So I'm just making sure to center it within those rectangles and adhere down, okay? All right, so here's my seal. And glue that on. And center this guy here. This is such a fun card. It's really kind of cool because it's called a puzzle slider because you've got all these different pieces. And I learned this one from my friend Brenda Quintana. And when I first saw her card with it, I was like, how the heck did that open? Like, that looks so hard. And then I saw how to do it, and I was like, oh, you know, it's one of those where sometimes you just have to see it, and then you're like, oh, that makes so much sense, right? Anyway, and then it's one of those, you know, do you ever see something and you're like, I could have come up with that? And then it's like, no, I never would have come up with that. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate. So I am just going to show you with our sample here. You can see how this slides open, but because I've got this center panel, you can't really see the inside of the card. But if you just fold back on those score lines like this, you can see the inside of the card just fine. So I'm just going to keep that open just so we have a roadmap of where we're going. And let me grab here our pieces. So we've got our basic beige that I'm just going to scoot off to the side. And then we've got this piece of basic white. Now, no card is complete without, you know, a showing from my messy scrap paper. So I am going to grab my pecan pie ink. Now, this is the leaf. I already did stamp and die cut one of these for the front of our card, but we are using it in the same color here for the inside, just to add a little bit of detail there. Okay. All right. Then we can close up our pecan pie and grab our Blackberry Bliss. And I've got the sentiment that says, you are amazing in every single way. And how sweet of a sentiment is that? I just think, aw, you know, a sentiment's good when it makes you go, aw. All right, so I just stamped that to the center, and then we can close up our Blackberry Bliss. Okay, then I'm just going to add some seal to the back of this basic white piece. Layer this onto basic beige, and this throws me off because I did a 1/4 inch layer here, and I never do 1/4 inch layers. So that threw me off for a second because I was like, hold on, I got to give that a little bit more space than normal. Okay, and then we're just going to open up our card here and put this on the inside. So cute. So sweet, right? How fun is that? Now, you can see my my cutting wasn't perfect, right? Because we've got some gaps here. Don't worry about that. If that's something that you're really like, oh, I don't like that, you could kind of, you know, shimmy it over. It could have been either my score was a little off or something like that. But, you know, I'm not too worried about it because we've got this big, beautiful piece that's going on the front. And I don't think people are going to go, oh my gosh, that's off, right? Okay, but I do notice that it is off a little, so it's okay. And you can see the card naturally just wants to open a little, so it just is, it's natural. Okay, so I've got this basic beige piece then that's going to go for the outside of our card, and we're just going to stamp this large leaf to create a little bit of a background. So I am going to use my basic beige ink pad and just stamp a couple of these leaves here. Maybe one in that corner, and then just flip it around and stamp it in those two opposing corners there. Okay, beautiful. Just like that. Close up basic beige, and we can adhere this then onto our basic white mat. Okay, so there's that. Here's our mat. There's that. Here's our mat. We can make a rhyme anytime. I hope you enjoy my jokes. I know, Lori said after all the years she's been stamping, she still says, that's so cute. I know, it's so hard. And sometimes I'm like, I got to pick a different adjective, but it just is so cute. I'm with you, Lori. I get it. All right, so we've got this piece here. You can kind of pick, I'm going to go this way, I think. And we have to adhere this on the front. Now, you can pick which side you want it to be attached to, but the really important part is you can't add adhesive all over, right? Because otherwise your card isn't going to open. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this over here on the side, kind of centered, right? And I'm just going to flip up just so my right hand can do some work. And I'm going to put on these panels down here my adhesive, but I'm using this as a guide so I don't go too far over, right? So we're just going to adhere a little bit. Okay, maybe like that. And then we can even, I know this is going to go this way on the card, so I'm just going to flip it straight over, and I'm just going to, on the edge here, add a line of adhesive, okay? Can you see? There it is. You can see the shiny part. And then we'll go ahead and adhere this down, and I'm centering this here on our card front, okay? And then you can see that's only going to be attached to one side. Thank you for sharing, Debbie. Okay, so let's go ahead. We've got a few more things to do here. And we are going to add our beautiful, I love the Spotlight on Nature dies. So we had to incorporate that, of course, into this card. So I'm just going to adhere that with some seal to the center of our card. Okay, then we've got these leaves. Now, as I mentioned, I did pre-stamp and die cut these, but this is in Blackberry Bliss, and then this one is in Pecan Pie. And I just liked the look of this one, kind of filling out the whole image. So I brought in my light crumb cake Stampin' Blend, and I am just going to color the inside of this leaf. Okay, now have you ever colored one of your images with your Stampin' Blends? It's kind of fun. It's really, it almost makes you feel like a daredevil, right? Because, I don't know, usually we use our tuxedo black ink with this, but it's a little bit like, oh, I'm testing the boundaries. Anyway, so we could just go ahead and color this guy in. Okay. And it's so cute. There, oh, there I go again. It's so cute, but it just is. So there is our colored in leaf. How fun is that? So now it's not the white background anymore. You could also stamp it on a colored cardstock, but I wanted it to coordinate with this one because they're both stamped on basic white. So let's add some seal to the back of our leaves. And then we will tack this down onto our card. So I'm going to put this Blackberry Bliss one in the back, okay, kind of going off to the right-hand side. And then we've got this one. It's going to go off to the right. Now on my sample card, you can see I use dark crumb cake, and on this one I use light crumb cake. So you have to let me know which one you prefer. I think I like the light one a little bit better. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? All right. And then I've got this label. This was die cut with that Changing Leaves bundle. And I've got my Early Espresso ink pad. So we are going to go ahead and ink this thank you sentiment up and stamp that right in the center of our label here. Oh, golly. Oh, how did that happen? It didn't get any ink on it. Well, it did a little bit, but you guys, that was, thank you, Jesus. Like, that was a close one. I dropped that and I went, oh no, oh no, oh no. What's that going to look like? I can't believe that. I can't believe. Anyway. Wow. I'm flabbergasted. Okay, anyway. Let's add some dimensionals back on the back of our label here. I told you something was going to go wrong, didn't I? I did at the beginning of this video. And then I'm going to tack this down onto the card. I'm coming a little bit up onto this Early Espresso circle, mainly to cover the stems of our leaves, okay? Okay, so it's a little bit, I know it was really a close one. A lot of you like the lighter one. Kathy says she likes the dark leaf against the light background. Yeah, that is true also. I don't know. It's lots to think about. Very cool. Okay, so then I've got these fun. You can tell how much I've been using them. These just launched on July 3rd. Look how many are gone. These are the pecan, what are they called? Pecan Pie and Clear ribboned adhesive back dots. And we are going to use some of the Pecan Pie ones to coordinate with our card, okay? So I am going to just grab one of the bigger ones here. We're going to put that on the left-hand side right below the label. And one of the little ones right there as well. And I will hold that up in case you didn't see the ribbon in there, but it's so cool. Can you see the little design inside the dot? It's got like a cool little crisscross ribbon kind of look. It's really cool. So, oh, now we've got some more dark, some more light, both. Yeah, I know. Me too. That's the easy answer. You just say both. I like both. That's where I usually default as well. So that is our puzzle slider card. Look at how cool that is. So here's how that opens. Can you believe how quick that came together? So that is our card, you guys. That is summer camp project number 5. So what do you say I show you some other ideas? So I've got this one up first. Now, this is the one I was going to give you a little tip on. So this one uses the Lily Pond Lane Suite and the Charming Duck Pond bundle that coordinates. So when you open it, you've got those cute little ducks on the inside. Now for this one, you can see for the slider part, I used DSP that actually creates a scene. So for this, you have to be very careful, right? on where you cut, because you want to make sure all of those pieces coordinate where they're supposed to. So my recommendation for this, you can see I didn't mat this one. I'm going to give you the measurements without it matted, and then you can kind of play around with it if you want those mats behind. But what you want to do is cut this one at 5 by 3. Nope. Let's go the other way. 3 3/4 by 5. Let's do it the right way, Melissa. And then what you do is you cut this in the center. Let me see if I can figure out that math. You know what? We're going to cheat. Use the grid. Okay. 1 7/8 is where you cut. So if you cut this at 3 3/4 by 5, you're going to cut the center at 1 7/8. Then you'll cut the top at 3. So you have a 3 and a 2. And then the bottom at a 2 and a 3, right? So that you have those pieces that can coordinate together in the correct spots, okay? So there's that. And then, of course, we use some DSP on the inside, too, because it's just so pretty. We can't not. And then here's another one. I would recommend, if you're going to try one for the first time, maybe do a DSP that it doesn't really matter where the direction goes, like this one. So this one, I use the Bright Skies stamp set. And this one is really fun because, do you want to see the inside? So we've got balmy blue. We've got a little bit of daffodil delight here, but it says brighter skies are on the way. Yeah, so I made a bright sky scene on the inside. So this one was really, really fun to make too. And I think this is just a sweet, like, cheer you up kind of card. So those are our cards. Let's put the one we made on the top. So that is it for summer camp. So puzzle slider card, just a reminder, if you want the measurements, they are going to be emailed out to my email newsletter list tomorrow morning, Friday, July 19th. Yeah, 19th at 10 a.m. Central Time. So super, super fun. So before we go for the night, let me pull in all of our projects, because you guys, that was number 5. Can you believe it? Okay, so let me see if I can go in order here. So here's our night 1. Then we've got our night 2. And then we've got our night 3. Hold on, we gotta make some room. Okay, then we've got, this is obviously 5, and then we've got our night 4. Those are the 5 projects we made together for summer camp this week. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun, and I'm so glad to see your comments that you've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun for me too, so I am really glad. So just as that reminder, if you want, now that you see them all together, right? If you would like the project kits to make these at home, I'm happy to send them to you as a free thank you gift from me for placing an order in my online store this week. So you can order whatever you want. I used online exclusive products all week, so you could see some of the new things we've got out, but you can order whatever you want. Let's see. So just so you know, your project kits, if you do place that order for me, your project kits will include everything you need to put together the cards. The only things are like here, you can see with the Mossy Meadow, I did the pine boughs. I won't include those. So you'll want to have that bundle or something similar to that to create those. So anything that uses that day's featured bundle, I won't include for you. And a lot of that too is because, like, for the sled, I can't send any stamped images per Stampin' Up! Policy. So it would be kind of funny if I sent you a die cut sled without a stamped sled, or a die cut mistletoe. What did we call it? A mistletoe cluster? I think that's what we called it. So anyway, so that is that. If you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to me. But yeah, so $75 order, you'll get the 5 project kits as well as the PDF for all 15 projects, these 5 and the pile of alternates we've got in this bin here. So you'll get the PDF for all of those, and then $100 you'll get 10 handmade cards and envelopes from me, and $150 you'll switch it to 50 handmade cards and envelopes from me. So I'm going to pop up the host code on the bottom here again, just as a reminder to myself to mention it. If you are going to place that order, make sure you use this host code that you can see right here on your screen. You don't need to memorize it. Just click the link to shop in the description of this video, okay? All right, and your order has to be in by end of day tomorrow to get in on the freebies, all right? Okay, so thanks everyone so much for joining me for summer camp. I had a blast, and I hope you did too. And if you are making any of these projects, please share them. Send me an email, send me a message, post them in the Facebook group. wherever you need to so I can see them. So yeah, so that is that's that. So all right, thanks everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. I resume my regular schedule, so I'll see you live on Tuesday night. Yes, Don, the PDF has everything. It has the photos, the measurements, the supplies, the instructions, all of it is included with the PDFs. Yes. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.